Pregnancy and postpartum can be quite a journey. Your body and your life go through these wonderful but also massive changes. And you may find yourself on the other side staring at your closet and feeling like you just have nothing to wear. Whether that's because things don't fit quite like they used to, or those going out clothes don't make much sense anymore, or because, let's be real, you're just too tired to think about it. That's where our guest, Megan Timmons, comes in. She's a stylist and mom of three who specializes in creating virtual style boards to help the whole family look and feel great in those family photos, or just in helping moms refresh their wardrobes. Today, we're getting all the style tips, from what staples to keep stocked in your closet to how to look pulled together, even on those high chaos days. Well, maybe on those medium chaos days. This is Getting Started with Baby, the podcast that brings you practical tips, loved products, and lived experience from parents who've been there. Brought to you by The Starter Set, an upcoming service focused on helping parents find just the right things at the right time, personalized for their families. I'm your host, Jane Deshevsky, a mom on the other side of 2 under 2. I'm still actively figuring all this out, and I'm bringing you perspectives from across the parenting spectrum. Let's get into it. Okay, well, this is a topic that certainly I think a lot of moms spend a lot of time thinking about, and definitely changes pre and post pregnancy, during pregnancy, which is style and clothing and how to dress for your changing body and your body postpartum. And so we're really, really excited to have Megan Timmons. Welcome, Megan.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Just to get started, could you share a little bit about your background, your family?
Sure. So I started as a stylist a little bit after I had my daughter Amelia in 2018. I started this business in 2019. I think a lot of moms, including myself, after they have a child, they kind of have a slight identity crisis of like, what should I do? And is the job that I'm currently in right for me? And after having my first child, kind of did a hard left and tried to figure out deep down what I wanted to do post motherhood, getting into this new groove of life. And fashion has kind of always just been at the forefront of my existence. Ever since I was a little girl, I was always playing dress up and dressing my friends for events in high school. And so I was talking to a girlfriend about what we could do with this crazy idea that I had for styling family photos. And she was like, well, why don't you help me? She has a small following on Instagram. She's like, why don't you help me style my family? Because I don't even know where to start. And that's kind of how it all began. And then it grew from there. And so now I'm a mom of three. I have a 7, 5, and 3-year-old. So I'm doing that and I'm able to be a mom and be home with them, but also do this work that's super important to me. I feel like I'm helping women feel confident and beautiful and excited about new clothes. And especially when they enter in this new journey of motherhood, I think it's so important to feel good about yourself in this new stage of life.
I relate to so many things you said there and to what your friend said about not knowing where to start. What does family personal styling entail? If someone's working with you, what can they expect?
So if you want family styling, that would be more so for if we're about to take family photos.
Mhm.
You're spending a small fortune on these photos. So it kind of overwhelms. I think a lot of moms can think, okay, now what do I put all my kids in and myself in so it looks pulled together and we look comfortable and I feel good in these photos and I don't regret taking them. So I put together virtual style boards that are cared specifically to you and your family. So you fill out a questionnaire. I get details like the location of your photos, the time frame, time of year, so we know what the weather's like, any trouble zones that you may have, especially new moms sometimes feel a little bit more self-conscious about their bodies. So I take all those things into consideration when I'm putting together looks and style boards for your family. And I always love to give mom like 5 options, at least from the get-go, so that she can try different things. Because I know myself, when I'm shopping or buying things online, I'm like, I need options. Like, I don't know what I'm going to feel good in. So I love to give mom 3 to 5 options so she can kind of pick and choose, maybe get two things, see what fits best. And then I coordinate the rest of the family around mom. So mom's always the focal point. We stick within your aesthetic and your color palettes that you prefer, but it's catered specifically to each individual client. So that's part one, and that's really what I focus on a lot. And part two, I also do personal styling, and this is all virtual, so I can work with anyone. And it basically would be more of like a wardrobe refresh by season. So I've worked with moms that are changing their lifestyle from, let's say they were working and now they're staying at home with their kids, but they don't really know how to put together outfits that make sense for going to these activities with their children and not looking super slappy. So
Mhm.
little things like that. So I put together style boards that are basically mini capsule wardrobes.
I love that when you think about the family photos that you focus and start with the mom.
Yes.
How did you start doing that? Was that something that you envisioned from the beginning, or did that happen sort of naturally based on how you were working with families?
Yeah, I think for family photo, I want a base point, right? So you have to style five people and it all has to look cohesive. You have to find one starting point before you can really work on the rest. And to me, mom is the matriarch. She should be the focus. I feel like she's always in the background. So it's good to have her stand out and feel comfortable. Mom probably set up the photos. Mom probably is getting the whole family ready. Mom is doing all of the legwork. And so we want to make sure that she feels confident and beautiful. And she's the one who's reaching out to me to get the styling. So I always make sure mom or if grandma's involved, they have options and they feel super comfortable in whatever they choose. So,
When moms are coming to you, whether
mhm.
it's for photo styling or for a refresh of their wardrobe, what are some of the issues that they're typically coming with?
So I think that the biggest issue that moms have in general is we just we're so self-critical of ourselves and our bodies and our changing bodies. And it's unfortunate because I feel like we've gone through so much throughout pregnancy. And so I think that's the biggest thing is they're very worried about how they're going to feel or how they're going to feel when they look at these photos. So my goal is to find things that I think will look beautiful on them and with their body type and where they're at right now. And a lot of times that is the beautiful flowy dress. I think that you can't go wrong with that in a photo shoot. I know a lot of women don't love to show their arms. So I tend to say, maybe let's do some sleeves or a chunky knit cardigan to add some texture and layer. And even if it's hard because we're not models, so we don't know how to pose. And
Mhm.
sometimes your arm is against your body in a weird way and it looks funky. So I feel like sometimes when you're just in a flowier, easier, covered up look, it tends to make moms feel more comfortable when they're actually seeing the photos that they took of themselves. And that's what's so important.
What about when you're styling someone for a wardrobe refresh? Are there particular issues that moms come to you that they really want to focus on?
Yeah, a lot of moms, it's definitely a change in their lifestyle. So they'll say, "Hey, I only have going out clothes and now I'm a mom and I feel like I will never wear these outfits again or I feel like I have no style. I really just don't even know what to wear." And it feels like they really just need a whole refresh and update on what what they will feel good in. And so for that, I always say let's start with a capsule type wardrobe where we have, I don't like to say basic, but staple pieces that you can rewear in different ways. So, a really nice blazer that you could dress up over a dress for a dinner date or night out with friends. Or you could wear it with a nice crew neck t-shirt and jeans for a more casual look. Or if you're running around running errands with the kids and you're wearing a cute fleece jogger and a t-shirt, you could throw on that little blazer just to make it a little bit trendier. So I try to show you all these different ways that you can build out these items within your closet because I think a lot of women do feel, okay, I have this stuff now. How do I style it and how do I wear it? Because I think that's really hard. I think people struggle with, oh, I'm running out with the kids. I'm just going to throw on leggings and a hoodie. I totally get that because I do that a lot too. But especially if you're a new mom or postpartum, you're in the thick of it, you do feel better if you put a little thought into it. Even if it's a comfy outfit, you can make it look more presentable by just doing small things like layering pieces, like I said, with the blazer, or if you have a cool trench coat or a denim jacket. I love jackets because I think they can just add so much to a very casual loungewear outfit.
That seems so obvious thinking about that in retrospect. And no, I think it really is easy as a mom to basically start living in stretchy leggings. And
Oh,
after a while, you're like, I need to
yeah,
see myself in something else just to feel like a fully well rounded human again.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's always my goal. I'm like, listen, you can still, if you're running around to soccer games and school pickup, I mean, I'm not going to put together a style board for you with 5 different nighttime dresses. We're going to I'll put together more casual looks, but that could maybe be dressed up or dressed down, depending on what you're doing. So fit you at where you are in life and what your day-to-day routine is, and we work around that.
So you're a mom of three. Do you feel like your style evolved pre and post having kids?
1000%. Yes. Well, and I've always said this about myself in general. I don't have a specific style. I'm not preppy. I'm not super trendy. I'm not classic. I feel like there are days that I feel like I want to be a certain style and I just dress that way. And that still holds true after having my children. Where I'm spending my money is not on my dresses or my going out outfits
Mhm.
or fancy shoes and that type of stuff. I spend on quality athleisure and jeans and nice quality cotton t-shirts that I'm going to wear all the time, or a nice jacket that I know I'm going to get a lot of use out of. I just know what my priorities are and what my lifestyle is. And I just have now changed up my purchasing habits to accommodate that.
Was it hard to let go of? I feel like I still sometimes find myself buying going out stuff, I don't know, aspirationally.
For sure. I mean, and don't get me wrong, I still buy them. When I do think about certain occasions that I need to buy for, I'll tend to not spend as much money on those items because I know I won't be getting as many wears out of them. Or what I've done recently is I've rented items from Newly or Rent the Runway or Fashion Pass. I'm absolutely obsessed because I think that's also just a great way to try out new trends. For example, if you're going on vacation and you are going somewhere tropical, but you live in the north and you'll probably never wear a floral maxi dress, rent it. It just makes so much sense and it's good for the environment and all these things. So I am all about a Newly rental and I do that pretty much every other month just for fun outfits that I want for certain events, but I don't want to commit to purchasing them forever because I'm going to wear them once.
That's such a good tip because there are those occasions, and I feel like as you become a mom too, sometimes there are fewer and farther between. And so it
Mhm.
probably does make a lot of sense to be able to have the opportunity to rent some of those things. Probably also helpful because you're sometimes immediately postpartum, you're also in this phase where your body's still kind of changing.
100%. I was actually going to mention that too. I don't know about you, but for me, I didn't fully get back to, and I'm still probably, I mean, you don't always get back and you don't know where you're going to be 6 months from now. So why invest in a nice pair of denim? Why not try to rent it? Because your body's probably going to change in a couple months and it's constant. And then you have another baby. So I think rental is just such a great option for even maternity and postpartum and all those different stages. And if you want to try out a trend, but you're not sure if it works with your body type or your stage of life, rent it.
Of the rental services, are there ones that you think work particularly well or that you found a good variety on?
I personally tend to use Newly the most. It's
Mm.
a lot of anthropology, free people, and they update their styles a lot. I feel like the sizing, they usually have a lot of options. They also tend to have really interesting, like if it's summertime, they'll have like a big summer collection that's on trend. So you can see what's trending because they'll have little categories for all of that. So that's probably my favorite and you can pause your rental subscription at any time. So it's very user friendly and it's not a huge cost commitment. I think it's like $100. And I actually have a discount code in my Instagram and my link tree. I believe that gives you $30 off your first rental.
Oh, that's great. And I imagine that's also probably pretty handy for photo shoots, which again are like a
One
one-ish time thing, an
exactly.
annual thing.
Exactly.
So we talked a little bit about some of the common things that moms will come to you with or that they're trying to achieve with their wardrobe. Are there been style mistakes?
I think the biggest mistake is when women try, and I tend to do this sometimes too. You try to dress for a trend that doesn't necessarily fit your body type. So
Mhm.
the oversized bottoms and tops weren't
Yeah.
in. It just washes me out. I can't, it overwhelms me. Or the Bermuda short, I have short legs. So those types of trends don't work with my body type. And sometimes I still have a hard time accepting it, but not every trend is going to work for you. And that's okay. We don't have to try every trend. So I think just knowing your body and knowing what works well, playing with proportions, but in a way that works with your body type is super important.
That's a good point. And it's funny because I've totally been there on those trends where you see it and you're like, oh, I really want to try that out. And it just will never work. And that trend feels like it will not go away.
Yeah.
See it all the time. When you're in that position and you want to still feel like you're in the modern style trend, any advice for that? Like, how do you get a little piece of that without going into something that's just not going to work for you and then ultimately won't make you feel very good?
Yeah. I think it all depends on the trend. But like, for example, how I was saying the oversized like pants and t-shirts. Okay, so maybe both of them together wouldn't work for me, for example, because I'm short. Like I'm only 5'1.5". But I could totally pull off a baggier pant, but wear a more fitted top so it's not swallowing me whole. Or I could wear a baggier top with a more fitted pant because I'm not 6 foot tall. It's just not proportionally, it's just not going to look good. You can probably still do some of the trends, but make slight changes so that they work for you.
Yeah, mixing and matching. And I imagine tailoring is
Tailor-
also very big.
Yes, for sure. And I mean, again, being petite, I have a tailor that I go to that I'm actually going to go and pick up a dress from today.
Mm.
And that's another thing, a good fitted outfit, blazer, pant, you just can't go wrong if it fits you good. No, it's golden. So yeah, I agree with you 100%. You need a tailor or really jeans that you should know your brand and know your size
Mhm.
and stick with it.
Honestly, one of the things that people want from their clothes is to feel confident and feel good about themselves.
Mhm.
And I love that you have this mission of helping people feel confident in a way that isn't stressful. Any general advice for moms struggling on that journey as
Just to feel comfortable with your body and where you're at in that stage in life, you're beautiful. You need to know that, and clothes aren't going to change that. I do think that clothes can help, right? And I think getting dressed every morning and really taking the time to put together outfits before you walk out the door in a rush with just your sweatpants on or leggings on. If you are having a hard time putting together outfits, reaching out to a stylist like myself or somebody else that can help you figure out different items that work with you and your new body shape and where you are in your life, that is something that we can help you out with.
it seems like that would be such a good service to make use of, especially because with kids, as a mom, you're spending so much time thinking about what they need, et cetera, that just having somebody also thinking about what you might need
Yes.
probably is a huge relief.
Well, and that's the thing. I have so many friends that purchase these amazing clothes for their kids, full price, $70 dresses for their daughters. And they haven't bought themselves anything in years and years and years, and they're wearing the same leggings from 2020. And I totally get that because we want the best for our children. But honestly, if you're not feeling good about yourself, it's going to reflect to your kids, right? You want to have that confidence that you're raising kids with confidence that feel good in their own skin. And clothing is not going to obviously do everything, but it will help you feel good. And that's my goal.
As you have kids, and I'm sure with 3,
Yeah.
this is something you probably faced as well. I know I did with 2. There's sort of a general chaos mode that happens with kids, right? You're trying to get out the door, they need to get dressed, they need certain things. As a mom, you're thinking about like 100 things at the same time, all the time. And it can be hard to think about, well, you don't have the time you had before kids. What am I going to put together for my outfit tomorrow? How can I pull this all together? How do you practically achieve that? Any advice as a mom of three?
There are, of course, times like even this morning where I was just out the door in my leggings and workout set because I was going to work out and then I had to run errands in it. And I was like, I feel so not put together, but such is life and that happens. I think that making sure that you wake up with enough time or once the kids are off at school, then you give yourself your time to get ready. I've minimized my makeup routine. I do that super quick, 5 minutes tops. And then I have my set outfits, my go-to outfits. And I think that's what a capsule wardrobe really helps you with is like, okay, I know that I have these jeans. I know that I have this blouse. I know I can wear it with these sneakers. So I'll be comfortable when I'm running around all day. But I know that I have this that I can pair together that looks good and I don't have to think about it.
And that would be so important for moms who are very busy. And
Yes.
that brings us, I think, to the next part, which is we've talked a little bit about like a capsule wardrobe and some staple pieces like a blazer that are good to have on hand. Are there any other staple items that you recommend that every mom just have in their wardrobe?
I definitely think a blazer or just different styled jacket, just trying a bunch of different styles. I love the leather jacket to wear over anything, really. I mean, wear it over a dress or a shirt and jeans. And to that point, a really well-fitting jean is so important. And to have a jean that fits with your heels versus your tennis shoes or flats, knowing what works with what. I think right now that's what's on trend, which works really well going into fall and winter, is a knee-high boot, leather or suede or something. I think that can really just make an outfit look great. Either if you're wearing it with a dress and you could do midi, maxi, mini, I mean, really any style dress, you can wear a knee-high boot or you can wear it with jeans. So it's very versatile. And then for me, one of my staples that I go back to all the time, just because I'm a busy mom and I don't do my hair a lot, because I've got a lot of it, is that really nice hat or just a bunch of hats that you can switch out. And I think baseball caps are really cool to wear. It makes you look a little bit more trendy and can really jazz up an outfit. You can find really cool colors or heading into fall, you could look at fedora style hats, a wide brim hat if you're into that. I know those are a little funkier, but for a busy mom, I think a baseball cap if you just can't get to it like me pretty much every day. It's either thrown back or I have a hat on.
Switching to a little bit, this podcast is sponsored by the Starter Set. And one of the things we do with the Starter Set is we really try to help parents focus on what products they really need, what they don't need. As a mom yourself, are there any other items that you swear by, whether it was during that pregnancy journey or immediately postpartum, that you think are just really great things to have?
I can tell you what I think is things that you may not need are specific to maternity clothing specifically. I tend to just purchase clothes a size up. I also didn't wear like a lot of jeans during my pregnancy. So I think anything stretchy, like a stretchy dress that could fit a growing bump is always so much more flattering than something, or getting like a flowy dress that can fit your growing bump as well is another good option. And just maybe size up if you think you need to.
Was there something during your pregnancy journey that you found yourself buying that was different than you would normally get?
Say I normally do not wear sneakers because I'm short. And so I'm always in heels. But when you're obviously carrying, it's not easy to be walking around in 4-inch heels. So
Yeah.
I did look for other options for sneakers, and I love the look of like a New Balance, and they're so
Mm.
comfortable. And I think they have a lot of trendy styles. So, and that's now still what I'm wearing. So I guess it carried through. But yeah, I would say that was probably one of the things that I was like, this is a must have. I need a good, comfortable shoe that works with jeans, but I can just run around in and it still is working with my outfits. And yeah, I think it was my New Balance.
Before you get pregnant, you're like, I'm still gonna wear these shoes. And then towards the end, you're like, anything without heels. Yeah.
Yes.
If there was one thing you wanted listeners to take away from this episode, what would it be?
After you become a mom, you can still dress and do and be all the things that you want to be. You can literally care about yourself the same way that you did before you were a mom. And you are worthy and you should take time to take care of yourself. Buy yourself new clothes. Feel comfortable and confident in what you're wearing. It's so important that you don't let yourself go to the wayside while you become a mom because if you feel confident and beautiful, it's going to carry through to the rest of your family.
That's super good advice. And I think sometimes can feel so hard to do when you're in the thick of it, but is a good reminder and a good reason to reach out to a stylist. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with us. It reminds me I got to go up my blazer game and go get some more staple pieces as well. I really appreciated the advice, and I think it's going to be so helpful for moms out there. Looking for more style inspiration or the perfect looks for your family photos? Reach out to Megan on her website, Styled by Meg, or follow Megan on Instagram at Styled by Meg T. Links in the episode description. To keep up to date on our episodes, follow this podcast or find us on Instagram at @thestarterset_baby. Know someone who'd love this episode? Pass it on. Thank you for listening. Till next time.